My name is Jack McKenzie and I've got a boat building business called Finesse Marine. We're in the repair and refit game, general maintenance, anything related to just general shipwright work. More recently in years we've moved into the electrical side of the business too. So we bought it out of Narooma as a sunken vessel, written off. Yeah, look, when it turned up, I was like, I'll just fix this thing up a little bit and we just go and have some fun. And I'm just not that kind of guy. Like, it couldn't happen. Not a hope in hell that you can do a couple things and go and use a boat if you're wired like me. The things I initially said I was going to keep and make do with, well, we ended up with just a shell and nothing else, and it all ended up in a JJ Richards bin. I think the biggest thing that resonated with me was someone sort of said, "You're like, why are you fucking around for? Like, you can do it. You got the ability and whatnot, and you certainly wouldn't do this to someone else's boat." As I did with Byron's boat, I love the Bertram for a lot of reasons, but I did like the fiberglass stringer system. They do have some plywood in them from day one. Fortunately, a lot of that in mine was quite healthy, so we stuck with it and didn't get involved in getting up too under the floor too much. I rebuilt this transom in plywood. I had a multitude of reasons for that are somewhat technical, but with this application, these motors, and I suppose how this boat was going to be laid up, like fiberglass wise, the plywood was going to be the best option for me. I have not lengthened this boat, no. For me, again, time was a constraint. I'd stretched a couple other Bertrams. I knew what they were capable of, and a part of me was eager to have the propellers, I suppose, in their intended position. If they were hanging off a stern drive, they'd be very close to where they are now. The argument was there that I'd lose some cockpit, but I don't believe it's been that big of a sacrifice to me. It's still quite a lot of usable area there. I would like to, mainly because I'm a chip and dip guy, probably put some swim platforms on the back. It's just come down to time. We've been very busy since I built this boat. Haven't got there yet. So yeah, in terms of performance on a Bertram 25, swinging the motors where I've swung them versus say a hull extended one, you're probably going to have that little bit more waterline length. Byron would definitely have it on me, the top end speed, but anyone who knows these boats I would say that's irrelevant. Well, that one does 48 knots, and I have not done that very often, and you won't. Like, I would say it's another 150 man hours to stretch one of these over what we've done to gain 2-3 knots, or to gain the cockpit space. There's got to be a multitude of reasons why you would take it on, not just a performance aspect. I think they both perform extremely well in either configuration. I'm a 26, 28 knot guy. I think they run the best at that speed. The economy on these Verados is probably the nicest to me at that speed. There's no real estate left. I've gone a bit silly with the electrical side of it, and so that bulkhead is pretty well full with inverter chargers and stereo amplifiers and all kinds of other stuff. Jake is, I suppose, my right-hand man. He's pretty heavily involved with the mechanical or engineering and the electrical side of it, getting the installs into the boats. We're sitting in a customer's boat that we've just finished refitting. Part of that is, yeah, the electrical refit that we're looking at right here. Power demands are getting heavier every year with the range of goodies you can strap into these boats now, be it seakeepers or electric motors. What we have here is an electrical fit out that we've just recently completed, partnered up with a company called Safari. We've seen an area in the business where I think it could be better served, and took my own personal build down there to really see how far we can test the boundaries with power production and power production on the water, and not just saying that we can supplement our power with solar, doing it through DC to DC charging. Yeah, so in this particular boat, I wanted to have a pretty good workspace for the kitchen. The lower helm wasn't as important to me as it is to some. With this space here, there's an induction cooktop which is supported by our battery system that can run that. As you can see, we've got some fish here we just caught, so we're going to cook that up later. The big winner was refrigeration. So with the power that we've got, we can support good refrigeration and put quite a sizey fridge in a small boat to support long trips away. With the systems that we are using now, we can call in to a bay after fishing. If there is any roll, the Seakeeper's still running. That mitigates a lot of that, and it can still run the cooktop as well. So yeah, well, like all the things that are installed in this particular boat are definitely making boating a lot more enjoyable, definitely easier, gives us extended stays, and that's all supported with good quality power management systems. Some of the things like the min coders are also 36 volt, which is very hard to recharge at sea. So the vision for our business was to have sustainable power on the water, and 3 years later, here we are doing a broad range of installs, be it for the fishing boat guys with the motor guides, the min coders, that they can go to sea, run that electric motor all day and have oodles of power at the end of it. Also be it that something such as a Seakeeper would require the engines to continually run to keep up with its power consumption. We've successfully done through our demo boat a vessel that can run a Seakeeper 1 all night unassisted. No produced power over that night, be it from a genset or the main engines. And we can get up in the morning, turn the key, and off we go. Tech is constantly improving, and we've definitely implemented that with what we provide to our customers, and it's been very successful. This is the winner. This is a DC to DC charger capable of producing 250 amps an hour, which there's not too many competitors that can do that. Far less. This unit can take 12 volts from an engine. In the case of this unit, it can deliver 200 amps of power from that Yanmar, and then it can spit it out at multi-voltages. So in the case of this install, we did it as a 48 volt bank install. It's a total game changer in the lifestyle industry. I think that's become as much of a hobby as it is using them, strapping in all this new gear. It is very cool. We've come a long way. The biggest thing for us with the tech was the battery bank. So it's all lithium. There's a substantial amount of amp hour storage that then allows us to run inverter chargers to run AC loads. They may well be like a 240 volt cooktop. We run a pressure washer for the deck to clean the deck down. The hot water system in the boat is 240 volt. So with the nav side of things, it's been pretty basic. It does everything I need it to do, and it can always be expanded. But right now we're running just a Simrad 12 and a 7 Evo 3s. So with the lithium, to expand on that, certainly wasn't in its infancy, but maybe it just I wasn't educated enough on it. So I went down sort of a rabbit hole on that to get educated and what I could achieve to run the loads that I had electrical loads. And so when we finally felt that we'd ironed out a direction on where we're going to go with it, the company that was going to help us reach that goal was a company called Safari. Bruce from Safari is a bit of a mad scientist, I suppose you'd say. He's an extremely smart man. I think through his other businesses has seen a need for regenerative power and long-term off-grid capabilities. I believe we are, in the marine industry, somewhat behind. I discovered Bruce, and he was primarily in the RV market and that market in those days, and it's definitely evolving and filtering over into the marine sector. The products that they are producing can definitely change the landscape of boating, especially if you're in that bigger boat market where you do want off-grid capabilities. there is not a lot of knowledge about it and what people can achieve. And we're definitely trying to do our bit with getting it out there that there are all these products and they don't need to be only utilised when there's a shore power lead plugged in. They can be run at sea and done very effectively, and I think for very good bang for buck. We've got more and more gear in these boats year after year, and I know it because I'm at the forefront. We're selling it to people. It's walking off the shelves. It's happening whether you want it or not. Standard boating is no longer standard boating. It's evolving rapidly, and it's becoming easier, more accessible for the common person to do it. And I think we're in a prime position to be able to help out in that respect.